Like I was one of those kids, right? I was just so into people pleasing that I did everything my teachers told me, got really good marks, and had no idea what I wanted to do, of course, out of that. Just, you know.
Do what you want. I never did.
Huh.
And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, and that reflects to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do your passion.
Because I mean, that's the biggest thing that we all have to do is figure out who we are.
One of my first days at school was I was actually at the juvenile. My first job was juvenile detention center.
Seriously?
It was part of Templeton, and you went to this old building, and it's like a dungeon, and you'd have to walk up, and I had keys like this, and kids could be 8 years old locked up. This is before the Young Offenders Act and the rights of children and all the rest. They could be 8, 9 years old. And I'd have to walk up, close the door, it would echo down the hallway, climb up, and then get into the schoolroom, and then I'd have little folders on the kids, and they'd be 8, they could be 12, they could be 15, 16 years old, and doing some stuff. And this one kid was pretty tough at the beginning of the year, and he goes, "What's preventing me from a couple of guys just jumping you here, and then off we go?" And I said, "There's the key hanging on the wall. You're more than welcome."
Just don't hit the face.
Don't hit the face. Not the face. And then, wow, after doing that, I think I can pretty well.
Did you do that for a whole year? Yeah, my first year of teaching, I quit. I did a year and thought, this is bullshit. You know, the teachers hate it, the kids hate it. This is just like a downer. And I was sort of a long-haired hippie at that time in 1973, I guess, my first year in Burnaby. And so I thought, no, this is not for me. They said, I was on a temporary contract. They said, we want to offer you a continuing contract next year. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. And the whole all the people in the staff that goes, what are you talking about? You're going to be offered a permanent contract, then you're in. I said, in this? Forget about it. And then
you're out, Fred. What pulled you back?
Well, then I just life, you know. You sort of went on to get my master's. That's when I went and did my master's in Arkansas.
30 years of teaching, or how long was it?
35 for me.
35.
I did 29, but 4 were in a college system.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it was fun.
A little difference.
You're avoiding the question.
Yep.
What about
Was
it?
it
What
worth
is
it?
Is it worth it?
Oh, totally. I mean, I totally love my career.
On reflection for me, it has been a fantastic career. I think, like you talked about at the beginning, going, do I really want to do this? And I kind of had that after about 10, 12 years, you know. And then you're thinking, I got to pay a mortgage, I got to do all this stuff, you know. And you get kind of bogged down on in the stresses of life, and then, but with experience, right? And you learn. It takes a long, long time to figure it out, and once you figure it out, it's fantastic. Like I said, not only letting your ego go, but just learning about kids and situations, and saying things like, you know, like, hey, I really don't know the answer to that. You know, yeah, that's cool question, kid. You know, like, let's find out about that. I really don't know. And the first 10 years, I would be afraid to say that I don't know something, right?
Yeah.
When I look back now, my last 15 years were my best 15 years. I felt empowered, felt comfortable in the classroom, and I could move around, and it was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
No, it became a really worthwhile career. Yeah. Full of hair, 24 years old. God's gift to women. It's fantastic.
He was a beautiful young man. He's a beautiful older man.
For me, is to let go of my ego. You know, I used to, like, so when you're a young teacher, you get, how come they're not doing this? Or some kids, and then you get down to their level, right? And as you get a little bit older, and as you have, for me, actually having some kids, you start to get some empathy.
Yeah.
You know, that maybe they got other issues.
Yeah, maybe school isn't the most important
Maybe
thing in their
school
lives.
is not the
maybe
most
it's like
important.
right at the bottom, like you have to put up with it.
Yeah,
But,
that's true.
I think you ideally need to have like a love of humanity or a love of children, combination of the two or whatever. Like I was always fascinated by all the whole myriad of types of children that I get to meet in this business.
It's true.
You know, some of the autistic kids that are so brilliant and interesting, and seeing how they interact with the other kids and trying to make sure everything goes smoothly for them or whatever, and just all the different variety of
Well,
kids.
how surprised you are! Like I've done what I think we all do. We slaughtered a kid as being this kind of a kid, and then after a few months, you see something else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, and we will do this as adults.
Yeah.
And you have to remind yourself, don't be so quick to judge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
See the other sides of people and students, and yeah, absolutely, colleagues.
Yeah. Certainly as a drama teacher, you know, I'm not teaching a curriculum that I'm going to be, there's no government exam in acting, right? And so whatever little kind of, you know, leaps kids would make, I'd go, that moment that you created was fantastic. And you can just see them go, really, Mr. Galloway, or whatever, go, yeah, no, that was brought tears to my eyes, or whatever.
Yeah.
And every time I would encourage kids, I just realized that that's really what it should all be about.
I learned a little bit about that from you, actually.
Yeah.
Saying about to a kid, you know, that was fantastic. You know, and I make sure I pause to hold the class to point out to some kid who's, you know, like a C.
Yeah.
Not your hand up A kid, but saying, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, and you're right. They'll remember that.
Yeah. Somebody said, well, how long do you think you've got? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, to live. I said, oh, I don't know. And he said, well, you got about 10 good years. You know, you're 61. You got maybe 10 good years to do what you want to do. So you better get on with it, right? And I went, that's true. I mean, how, you know, I'm not going to be.
I thought about that too.
So there you go, folks. Bill and Fred in the twilight of their career.
So good.
Certainly just getting ready for a good retirement now, the two of them. Seem to be full of
We're
life,
never able to go back.
full of joy. That's got to be something. I wonder how the hell he managed it.
Pictures, or no, his wife found the pictures.
What can we learn here?
What the hell is this?
I'm not sure. You can't teach that.